Hi, this is Dr. Mia Luth. I think it's the 5th, April 6th. Oh, it's the 6th. Um, 2024, Saturday. Um, let's see. It's about 10:15 a.m. Uh, New York, Eastern Time, USA. And I'm in the office slash, uh, what's this called? Living room slash creative room slash studio. uh this used to be the collective boxes that needed to be open. It was like that for like a full year. I moved in and all. It, but you get older and sometimes life starts to slow down a little, which is good. But this morning I'm trying to kind of keep a log and start tracking bone pain, which has gotten progressively worse. So yeah, not maybe not bone cancer. I really meant bone marrow. It could, like, there is more of a possibility with me that it's something blood cancer related than with other people, because I've had some cancer issues and other kind of stuff, and there's just some unexplainable things that still popping up, which is starting to piss me off, because I'm like, all right, I've had enough. So anybody that wants to tell me to keep fighting, just don't. Keep it to yourselves. No, you fight for me. Okay? Because that will kill me. Uh Really quick at this juncture. But I gotta get there. Um I know there's some tests that can be done for that. It's much easier than something like Parkinson's or whatever. But I don't have Parkinson's. I have Parkinsonism. It is stress related. That somebody with PTSD is more likely, if it's a movement disorder, that's definitely something you want to check. But I do have a good bit of the symptoms that are listed as Parkinson's symptoms. So, it's a little unpredictable. I never know from day to day. Sometimes I have a really good morning and then like be tanking. Usually my energy is available in the morning, and then it's like afternoons get harder and harder and harder and harder. I am like a senior citizen. I eat early. I try to go to bed around 7. I try to get 8 hours of sleep. That's been difficult for me pretty much since my 30s. Uh, if I can get 4, I'm all right. If I get 6, I'm way better. Uh, I can't. Like, getting too much sleep is an issue. There is such a thing as getting too much sleep. My body doesn't like that. Like, yeah, some people might know what I'm talking about. It's like you get like 10 hours of sleep and you feel like crap. Yeah, like, oh my god, I feel like a lot. So you know, the reason I'm at home in the middle of the day, well, today is Saturday, that would make sense. But I've seen a lot of people making some stupid comments online about stuff. Anyway, uh, I understand self expression, but I will say that sometimes self expression can cross legal boundaries and civil boundaries. So it isn't a free for all. Not in the United States, it is. It might like seem like one every so often, but it really isn't. Okay. Um, anyway, I'm just I'm still a little in shock, but there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, Upper Bay Counseling and Support Services, I guess, decided to just take the shovel back and finish digging their own grave. Like, there really isn't. So the way that it comes across, though, is that at a certain point, I did go to the state of Maryland and court services, and some people might know what that means. And like, I put in a few complaints because they just refuse to address them. I mean, and somebody needed to address them, okay? Because my personal rights and right, I mean, almost every roommate I had bed bugs. Yeah, more than one time over. I mean, there are people that know I put up with a lot of stuff, man. And I was already dealing with PTSD, like the grief and loss of like my whole family and all the, and some other things. And, the physical pain, because I have that. I have actual physical things too that are an issue. It just shortened my life, and I'm aware of it. Plus, I can't drive. I'm 51. I used to, oh my God, driving. I love driving. Why would any mental health and psychologist group of people not understand why this is hard? I am not like reacting strangely to stimuli. Okay. But that is my point. So these things need to be addressed, right? I'm allowed to do that. Okay. But it was also to, maybe get the state talking to Upper Bay. Like, okay, well, now the conversation can be had. Have it. It was actually, beneficial that way. Maybe there's some things that the state didn't know, and maybe there's some things that Upper Bay didn't know. Okay. So anyway, uh, I mean, Upper Bay, quite literally, a couple days ago, like, I don't think they realize the way it looks is they retaliated against me. And then they just decided to stop offering me therapy and psychiatric services, even though I didn't ask them to do that because I was not anywhere near finished therapy. Made some good progress, right? So, like, trauma therapy sometimes, depending on what the trauma is, but sometimes you can have delayed trauma memories. So you can be in therapy and some work that you did the year before, right? It can, like, yeah, like 6 months later or a year later, this is kind of that can happen. Like, some like you're more comfortable understanding some things and also memories. This is all very common in therapy and counseling. Why don't these people know this? Anyway, and my therapists who I've had all know that I kind of hunker down and I'm a little more alert, and I start practicing coping skills in like September, because the weather starts changing where I am, and it starts like eventually starts getting dark at 4:30, and right for seasonal affected, like, yes, I mean, I have to take extra steps for my mental health and other things. And so, and the holidays, I mean, it's pretty sure some people can understand. It's just, in this last year, 2020, I don't know, I really just missed them. Like, it's been a long time since I've seen them in a long, long time. And there were just some things that just kept popping up, memories and stuff. So I was having a bit of a harder time. But actually, so I decided, okay, well, I love music. And if I'm singing, I'm feeling a little better. Plus, I'm getting breath work. Plus, I'm working on my voice. It's going. My voice is going. So, the singing voice, like, I can get used to being the squeaky one that's, yeah, I don't make a living singing. I mean, so it doesn't mean that I don't care. I've always cared about taking care of my voice. I may not have done a bang up, smash up job with it when I was younger, but then again, I had like all that stuff. Like my parents gave me coffee when I was younger, and booze and cigarette. You know what I'm trying to say. It's just, yeah, some of us by the time we realize, like, oh shit, caffeine. It's not like you can't have caffeine, but you gotta like know dietary control on what you put. Yeah, I mean, most people these days, and it's not just singers, people who talk on the radio and other kind of things. But I've always needed my voice. I mean, I I've done it enough that I can get over the fact that now when I'm singing something will squeak or out singing and a whole note, it's just gone. Yeah, like, oh well, right. But I'm actually talking about my singing voice, not talking about my singing voice, and just my voice in general. Swallowing issues, and there seems to be 100% chance that somehow my vagus nerve is damaged, which causes all sorts of gastrointestinal issues and swallowing and swallow paralysis. So I have swallow paralysis. So if food gets stuck here, I know that's reflux. If food gets stuck here, I know, yeah, that's physical and neurological damage. Uh, so, I mean, pretty soon I'm gonna have to start putting thickener in my drinks. I'm only 51. I mean, why do these people not understand? Of course, I'm depressed, for Christ's sake. Of course, I get upset sometimes. But that's exactly the way it comes across. Is that they just retaliated against me because I went to the state and core services to try and get them to have a conversation about some of the things that need to be updated and some of the things that just are not right. And when you have a situation like that, you do actually need to have an actual real way to protect clients' mental health natures, yes, from one another. If you don't have like extra housing or you don't have like a safety room or what the anyway, so I graduated from Sunrise, so I wasn't in the residential anymore. Mostly the reason I was in residential was because it was just while I was getting therapy and some other things together, waiting on the Section 8 housing, which I have. I would not be able to live in indoors without it. You people are gonna have to fucking trust me. People are gonna need to shut the hell up, especially my neighbor. Like some people just cannot stay out of other people's business. And some people just cannot see the reality that, yes, like you don't own this building, you don't own me, and you're sick in many ways. And you talk behind everybody's back. Like, I don't need to know these things about these people you're talking to me about. You understand? But when it won't stop, then they need to be stopped. Anyway, uh, I already spoke to someone on the phone to confirm that my case has been closed. And I was like, wait a minute, wait. I'm waiting for someone to, right, hook me up with a male therapist. What the hell's going on? Okay, fine, whatever. Talk to me. I talked to someone else who's been in some of my treatment team meetings, a little higher up, and she would know a couple things. And like my treatment plan does have a suicide safety plan. Some people would never need it, but I do. I do. And people who have PTSD or people who are around people who have firearms, and if you have had occasion to slip into depression or you have persistent thoughts, don't wait too long before you talk to somebody, because something can come along and like you're a little easier to push over the edge. Okay. Anyway, so I have all this. I did through right, and I was following those steps. This organization causes harm in multiple ways. Now, like I've said to some of them, I'm not blaming it on you. I'm saying that maybe the state needs to do some stuff. Plus, there's some kinds of cases you probably shouldn't take because you don't have that kind of setup, but they do anyway. Some of these people can be moved to Pennsylvania if there's an institution, and psychiatric institutions aren't anything like they used to be. People, get all that shit out of your mind. Okay, you understand? All right, I'm not saying they're all built the same. I am saying that like people, think like 1950s we're all going to go in there and like get lost and nobody's going to get experimented on. I mean, some people need to be monitored much more than Upper Bay has the qualifications to do. And considering the amount of autistics, and they don't have anybody who understands autistics, why are they taking autistics? Clients don't know how to interact with some people that are not trained. Like, it should not be a one size fits all or a catch all. And I do know that there are other programs who get on waiting lists of some people, right? But we're so close to Pennsylvania and Delaware and another county. I mean, the county next door, like Harvard County, or who's down there? What's the town? But I don't forget. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Bullshit. Then they kept trying to convince me that there was only one option. Like, Upper Bay is the only option and the only thing I can. I'm just like, what are you talking about? Anyway, plus they lied to me numerous times. I can prove that. Blame me for a lot of shit. I'm like, don't blame me, man. I'm the one who needs help. Like, what do you want? I do everything I can to make it to my doctor's appointments, which is basically my reason for living. That's it. So I was grateful that, there is, for people who are really, really financially bad off, which I mean, I barely, right. And I'm not complaining about it. Do you understand? I'm not complaining about it because I don't need that much. Do you understand? Like, I have a roof, I have, you know, uh, like one bedroom apartment, I have hot water, I have a kitchen, I have some clothing, uh, I have dentists who know me better than a lot of people around Elkton because I had to, before I could not, like, before there was, if you don't have insurance, it's really hard sometimes to get to a dental. So when you really have like a lot of work, like, it's one thing, some of them will do some charity, like, or they'll let you pay off a cavity, but there's like, yeah, extensive work on the other end that's harder. And the way I'm getting a loan and all that other shit, I went through all that. And I was on the donated dental list, and I asked Upper Bay numerous times, please help me get to a dentist. But they didn't. Until one day I'm in the emergency room. And it was so bad that I was dying right there. And so, shock trauma time. To go to the University of Maryland to get emergency oral surgery. All that could have been avoided. So no, they haven't really been that helpful to me. A couple few. And anyway, I was simply bringing up some things that I know could be looked at and worked on from both the state level and Upper Bay, and other people who are involved with mental health in Cecil County. You understand? Just a few things that I know maybe could be right. Since I'm able to express myself in some ways well enough, that's what I did, and I had every right to do that, to protect myself, my safety, my health, my life, my PSD. Anyway, I don't know what the hell, but these people have just fucked that all up. Because I wasn't going to make too much of an issue about some things like, what do I know? It was just those few, and they never got addressed. And then, yeah, I get this letter that says that they, may have accidentally disclosed my personal information, and, that they're willing to, buy 1 year identity theft protection. And, also questions I can ask and the number and all. Like I said, I tried that email and it bounced back. Okay. And I did talk to DV and say, yeah, I want to talk about that. I didn't want an explanation. I wanted my yearly, but no, she's just trying to, right, change the conversation. You guys have fucked up. Some of you may actually end up getting criminal charges pressed against you. They didn't disclose that we're sitting around with felons. We're violent people. And I can prove that too. Wrong! Okay. Right. And I did talk to DP about it and say, well, I am interested in getting that. So I'm letting you know. Okay. And also talk to my psychiatrist and the nurse because I think they understand better than everyone else. So, right, like, I do want therapy. I told them I just wanted another therapist. So what do I gotta do? And I never got an answer back. So I sent a letter that said I'm concerned. Okay, my meds are gonna run out. I don't have another prescriber. what do I do? Who do I, right? So I finally got it. And also, hey, I want my full free year that you promised me in writing. Still hadn't heard anything, but I did get a letter back and it said go in, fill out the paperwork to, yep, have the information sent over. So I did in person. And while I was there, I brought the letter that had the woman's name on, the privacy officer, and I handed it right to the lady. And I said, "Can you tell this person, please, like, give this person my good phone number?" And yes, so I've been trying to contact. Right, I left a message in person, and who I was expecting to call me from Upper Bay was the privacy offer, because that's what I asked for right there, standing there. The letter in my hand. This person. Please give this person my phone number. The problem's not me, Upper Bay, but because some other obnoxious person calls me and claims, well, I don't know anything about the privacy issue. I'm not calling about that. And I'm like, well, I only picked up the phone because I thought I was going to be talking to the privacy officer. You guys are screwed. You just screwed yourselves. I already talked to people about that other thing, and I was already in process of, right, getting the information over so I could, my GP can pick up the prescription so I can pick back up my meds, because I'm not supposed to go off my fucking meds, idiots. And also, so my general practitioner can then go online and, yes, re yes, do a re-intake so that I can, right, get another therapist and get back into the system, right, with Upper Bay. And some dumbass, may have been by the name of Chris, from Upper Bay, calls me on the phone and fucks it all up. True and real story. They had every opportunity. They were good to go, except for the few small things that I had brought, right? Okay. And it was a personal, like, I'm like, it's not like I'm coming after you legally, everybody. I really wanted a male therapist. And I got confused and the holidays, and there are a lot of people missing, and I left messages. So you don't have the right to put this on me, Upper Bay. It is a true statement. I'm taking you to court now because of some guy calling me on the phone about something I already talked to them about that I wasn't interested in anymore because I was taken care of. I was expecting a privacy officer to call me. You and yours? Now we're going to open the whole big old fucking can of worms, assholes. Wow. But it's out in public right here. That's what it looks like. It looks like you guys retaliated against me for putting in a complaint against you to the state. It's on you. You're bringing this on yourselves. My health matters. I care about my own personal safety. I care about being able to sleep properly and not have a roommate come in and take all my stuff and throw it in the trash. Bullshit. There's nothing we can do about it. Bullshit. So I'm just putting this up here to say you were good to go as long as you sent my freaking records, like I signed the paper over to my primary care so that I can have somebody pick up those psych prescriptions. And also, I've been looking around and calling around and seeing about getting a therapist from another that my insurance company will cover. I don't have any therapists. I'm going to make your lives very difficult. Now, there are a few clients, they don't know what the hell. They can't protect themselves. They don't know any better. You understand? Yes. See, they think that abuse is normal. There are some clients who need to be, there's a couple of them not allowed to be walking around freely in public for a lot of reasons. There are more intensive places for these people to be. If Larry Bethon says one single word to me in public, I'm going to get a peace order against him. And he will deserve it. Do you understand? Like, I'm an actual, real person with actual, real major illness situations. And this woman ran around telling people I'm bipolar. This woman needs to go. Okay? People are not allowed to ask me what fucking medications I'm on unless they're medical. You understand? Nobody is allowed to ask me for my medication. I will also get a peace order against my neighbor if it becomes necessary. So this is all on the record. Upper Bay did this themselves. Like, I was not going to go the legal way. They had it. But instead of the privacy officer calling me, who has to call me about the free identity protection that they offered in writing, that they keep gaslighting me on. So now I am going to get litigious. I don't understand how somebody, like, wow, people, this close to me not. And you people fucked it up. Okay? I need to be concerned 24 hours a day with my health. Okay? And I have too many doctors, which was already known, therapists were trying to, yeah. But sometimes you need to go to a specialist for a little while to get some things in your meds and try and figure out if you have a certain thing, and then they can write. But sometimes GPs can take back over because you don't really need like all the time. But I did actually manage to be able to move one of my doctors much closer, which will help me. Um, it's like some of it's insurance, like some of it's the way certain insurance companies work. Uh, anyway, so slowly but surely been working on that, and since I went to Dr. Chua at Johns Hopkins at the neurology department, the motor or the movement, and definitely not Parkinson's, which is good. That's a relief, right? I don't have to worry about that anymore. But that's why I was in such a hurry. You understand? Like, you have to push the fucking pace. I don't care if I'm bossy, okay? If you do have Parkinson's, you kind of want to know that as soon as you possibly can. So if you people don't like it, I'm going to sue you. And I'm going to shut you down if I have to. And I'm going to find others who can do this better than you can, right? To help the remaining clients. And some of these clients should not be out because they are drug dealing, yes, sex addict, fucking pervert, people with violent tendencies. And there is an example of one who died in the last 2 years, and bullshit, because Upper Bay cannot deny that one attacked one of their own staff. No, you don't got this, Upper Bay. And too bad for you. I really am really sick. I'm really in pain. And if I gotta deal with that cancer bullshit another fucking time, this will not be a friendly exchange.